He's based out of South Dakota. Thank God he didn't use a lot of packing peanuts. I hate packing peanuts. And a piece of plywood at the bottom. Woo! Oh, look at that. Oh, this thing is so nice. Ooh, look at that trunk. Beautiful. Wow. So this is a 60-year-old Ponderosa pine. It was collected on May 20th at 5,000 feet. Look at that. I love this structure right here. You can't beat that. That's very nice. Plenty of branches to play with. I'm not going to mess around with wiring this quite yet, but I'm just going to let it kind of gain some more vigor and probably do some wiring next year. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this purchase actually. You can't collect something this nice without going out a lot of times to be able to find the perfect tree in the wild. I love all the curves up here. You know, I'll probably create a new apex on this thing, but I'm just gonna sit on it, just gonna enjoy it for what it is right now. And the beautiful thing about Ponderosa is kind of the bark on the tree. This is a 6-year-old tree. The pot is decent, but I don't think it's the right fit for this tree. Eventually I want to find something a little bit more shallow. This is more of like a semi-cascade pot. By June of 2021, the tree was showing that it was in good health. It had really fresh new candles. The color of the needles were telling sign too that it was in good health. Usually, you don't want to work on a tree that is in poor health because you could kill it. So the tree basically gave me all the signals that I could do some structural wiring. So I am leaving this part of the video kind of long and on purpose, because whenever I watch a person do a demo online or on YouTube or anywhere else, there's a lot of jump cuts where like, how did you create that apex, or how did you take this kind of twiggy looking tree and then turned it into a very full and bushy bonsai. So I'm leaving this part long, showing all the kind of steps that I took to get to the final structural design. And so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it, and I hope it helps. Alright, that is the first pass on at least the structural part of the wiring for this Ponderosa. And I'm creating kind of a semi-cascade look with it. So, let's get a little bit of a better view. There you go. Now I just want the tree to fill in, get healthy, have all the bones where I want it to be, and got shortened up all those really long branches by kind of bending it towards the back and then giving it some movement. Still a lot of work to be done, but you know, overall it's trying to compact the tree using the existing branches here to create more of a fuller looking tree. Okay, so that's the first pass. The tree's a lot more compact from what it started off as. And, you know, that's kind of the general shape. You know, it's not refined. It is structural wiring. And that's about it so far. So let me move some of these baskets and things, kind of blocking the view of the tree. There you go. These lids pop open whenever the it rains because the stuff in there expands. Okay. There you go. Alright, here's an update on the Yamadori Ponderosa Pine that I got from Golden Arrow. See, this is in really good health right now. I did the first styling of it last year, kind of get it into this particular form, and now it's time due for some needle plucking. Is what it's due for. Just kind of open up that canopy a little bit and not make this tree look so bushy. So it's definitely turning itself into a semi-cascade tree. And you know, there's a couple different options as far as front goes, and I'm not 100% sure which way I'm going to go with yet. But either way looks pretty good. I kind of like this over here as well. Shows off, you know, this beautiful trunk right here, and then yeah, I think this tree flows a little bit better. Some deadwood here to look at. I like the side. So maybe I'll just kind of focus on this as the front and start doing some needle plucking, probably with Ponderosa, because the fascicles are attached to the tree with a lot of strength. You might have to cut them with scissors instead of plucking it out, because if you do, you're going to end up tearing the bark off. So either way, I've plucked these before and I have made some tears doing that, or you can cut them. So different technique, same result, trying to thin it out and take away some of that vigor. When you pull these needles off, you want to pull with the direction that it's growing from, because if you pull back, you most likely will tear it It'll tear the bark off going the other way. So tear it with, or pull it off with the direction of where the needle is growing. So all I'm doing here is I'm plucking off the old growth, and I'm leaving the needles from this year's buds. This allows me to get the wire in here cleanly as well, and it allows for good energy distribution. So you can pluck Ponderosa, you know, I've heard differently, but just go with the direction of where the needles are growing. It'll be okay. All right, so I have done the needle plucking to kind of thin everything out. I do need to add some additional wire because the tree has grown additional length in the past year, and I need to wire down some of these other branches that are kind of hanging loose. I did structural wiring last year to kind of get this shape. I didn't really get down to the tips of the branches, but that is what I will do next. All right, I think I am good with the way this tree looks. I wired pretty much every single branch. Was a good amount of branches. I mean, it didn't look like there was a ton when I first got the tree, but there was definitely enough to create a nice little canopy on this Ponderosa pine. And you know, the needles on Ponderosas are generally very long to begin with, and to be honest, this is not the shortest needle, but it's also not very long for Ponderosa. These are about 3 inches, but on Ponderosas they can get up to 6 inches long. And so that's it right there. I went from Yamadori material that was collected, I believe, I don't know, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that. I'll have to look up the date. Got here, I mean, the pot is okay for it. It works somewhat at the moment. I think for now I am done. I mean, the structural wiring is done, detail wiring is done, and then this is the tree. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for tuning in. This is an update on this Ponderosa Pine Yamadori material that was collected by Golden Arrow. See you next time. Bye, guys.